We have 5 members tonight, myself and Bruce, Keith, Brian's away, and Tom. Everybody will be a voting member tonight. Pardon? Oh, Peter, I'm sorry. Any adjustments to the agenda? No. Need a motion then to accept the agenda as written.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll second.
All those in favor? 5-0-0. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is signing of the finding of facts for the subdivision that we approved last meeting. Tom, why don't you start?
I wasn't at the last meeting. Am I signing this?
That's right, it was Peter, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Tom.
It was easy.
While we're signing those, the minutes for the last meeting, take a motion on whether they're complete or if someone wants to make a change to them.
It's good to move, to me, I move they be approved
Second.
as recorded.
It's been moved and seconded that the minutes from the last meeting be approved. All those in favor? 4, with 1 abstention. There's another one, Bruce. All right, the next item on the agenda is public hearing, review and public hearing for Penobscot Marine Museum for a post and beam shelter at 4 Knox Avenue. And I'm going to abstain from the discussion and vote and recluse myself because of a possible perceived bias. So everybody else will be a voting member. You two gentlemen want to step up, have a seat? If you'll push the talk button on there. Keith, you want to take over for me?
This is a Penobscot Marine application for that building, well, not building, a little lean-to thing up there. First thing we got to do is see if the application is complete. And on that check sheet, you'll find there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be submitted, so we'd like to have a waiver on that before we go vote on the whole thing. Or is that not applicable? You get it? You see all the waiver things on there? Okay.
I have a question, has the fee been paid?
I have the check with me.
Let me make a motion, either we do it or we don't.
I find that all the applicable items that should be on the application have been filled out or on the application, enough that we can make a decision anyway.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
What do you think, Peter?
I think all the information required for them to proceed is here.
All those in favor of the motion? 4-0. Thank you.
Is there any discussion from the gallery here?
In a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Make a motion that the application is complete.
Second.
Oh, yep.
All those in favor? Motion is complete. And just as a note, it was advertised in the paper on June 7th, and your butters have been were notified, and the staff, you have a sheet that signed off on everything on the sheet. Now then, will the applicant please present what they want to do?
I'm sorry,
I didn't follow that question, I'm
Will you
sorry.
present what you want to do? Tell us what you want to do?
your microphone on?
It is,
Yep. This is your chance for a sales pitch.
okay. Our plan is to build a shade structure, a post and beam shade structure on the Knox Brothers building lot that will allow our visitors a place to get out of the shade and maybe charge boats that they might use in the model pond that's there for the summer.
Now, is that not going to be closed in?
No, not this summer. And we understand that if any use or change of location would, in the future, would require us to come back and go through this whole process again, and we understand that, but this summer we won't put sides on it, and it's just as we described it.
Okay. Thank you. The board got any questions?
I have one. There's mention here of potential of moving the building at some point for whatever reason in the future. Do we consider this a permanent structure or a temporary structure, being as it's just sitting on pads, not anchored to the ground? And if it's a temporary structure, do we need to approve it?
Looking at the beginning of site plan review, we approve either permanent or temporary structures.
Okay.
If you look on the purpose, I think, Tom, doesn't mean I'm right, you may want to look at it.
You're looking at the land use or site plan? You're looking at the site plan or?
I understand the site plan.
Yeah.
On the purpose, okay, well, that's trying to, came toward the end. Development, if you look at the very first part of it, liquid solid, placement of building, structure, property, values, water quality, standards, character, neighborhood. Purpose on is to control impacts caused by development. Establishing new non-building structure. That we had a thing in here with, somewhere I looked at, we look at both of them as temporary or permanent. It comes under applicability.
Accessory structure comes on. Under building, it would be under that too, because it says supported by columns or walls used for the shelter or enclosure of persons, or goods or anything.
Okay.
Oh, do we have it in the, did you look on the definite, were you looking on the structure? Reading it?
No, I was looking at the building.
Well, the structure and the definition, it's on page 3 of the
Yep.
site plan. The term includes structures temporarily or permanently located, such as decks, patios, or satellite dishes. I knew it. Thought I had a similar question, Tom. I looking at it earlier today.
I had the
Thank
same, I had the same question myself.
But I have a question too. Why are we even looking at this application?
I guess the question is, why not? I understand what you're going, I know where you're coming from.
Why does it come under site plan review?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
It's an institutional thing. I think I answered it, but I kind of went ahead of time. I didn't know on some of these. It's in a commercial zone, correct?
Yes,
On that commercial zone. And if you go page 19, well, commercial districts. Yeah, page 19 of 59. Institutional planning board review is required for museum. So I guess it's part of the museum.
yes.
But it didn't seem like it was much of a building. It doesn't enclose, people, animals, or anything else, but
You look
there's
on-
no question on that.
Did you look on the structure on that page 58? Okay.
And so, I had that question as far as I could see, okay, I guess that's what we look at, we should be reviewing it. And it's appropriate as a commercial use in a commercial zone. Right?
All right,
I guess.
that's what I thought. But I did look at it, that, whether we should or not, earlier. But I think we should. I lost my page now, what to do with it. Okay.
I guess this is the time to ask questions on some of the things.
Yep.
Drive by the site. Well, first of all, you got photographs in here. And my curiosity is piqued. Is someone having a paper drive or collecting magazines, or what is this big pile near the Worth property?
I don't think that's our photo.
Well, it came with the application.
I think George did that.
I was in the application. Here's another one of it. The telephone pole, the museum building. What's the big pile?
I can't quite see it from here, but I'm not familiar with the photo.
Come on. We have three of them like that.
I think it's,
How did that come about?
I think this is a camera blur when, I think
Looks like a
these,
stack of magazines.
so when the Google cars with the cameras on the top make the maps that you can go on to Google Earth and see, it's a very slow-moving video, essentially, that they're making. So when it stops, this is just kind of a digital illusion. That's the best explanation I can offer.
Yeah, well, it looks like
That does not exist.
doesn't look like it's on your lot, though.
It's now.
It looks like it's on the Worth lot. And when I went by it today, I just see, it looks like you've got, I don't know, you got pallets there or something, but you've got a pond made there, right?
A model boat pond.
Yeah, a little pond, like a skating rink with no ice.
Right.
And I didn't know if those are something you put underneath it, or something to kill the grass. We do it on the garden, put down like a mouse to keep grass and weeds from coming up. But you put that down as the base and then let stuff over it.
Yeah, that thing is just an optical illusion on the print.
And so when that pond is in relation there, the structure is going to be near the museum.
Correct.
We have a
Well,
little clear
closer
spot
to
there.
Route 1.
That's
Yeah.
where part of
I should say the museum store.
Correct.
yeah, that's where part of the stuff is now piled up, right?
And we're gonna what?
The building parts are piled up over that side? Isn't there a pile?
You got some stuff
Yeah.
there.
All that stuff had been on pallets under tarps for the past 3 years. The wood for the post and beam structure. It had been given to us 3 years ago, and we haven't put it up yet. We thought this would be a good summer to try it and see how it worked, and, but that had been covered up there on the lot the whole time, and there was a bunch of pallets that were supporting it and keeping it off the ground.
Curiosity, how big is the pond?
And those posts are gonna be, the foundation are gonna be those round things called, what, lily pads?
Lily pads, exactly. 8 of them. The pond is to make model boats
Yeah.
and sail them on the pond, or if you have a remote control one.
I asked, how big is it? I'm just curious.
30 by 40 feet
Oh, okay.
and about 12 inches deep.
And where will the model boats be made?
It's one of the activities that kids and grown-ups alike can make right there on the campus. I think they'll actually be in the Wickham Pendleton building is where they
Okay,
can.
not gonna be under that structure that you're proposing?
No, but I think it would be a sunny spot. It'll be a place where people can duck out of the shade, and if they're watching kids do that, parents or grandparents could have a place to hide out too.
What are you gonna store underneath there?
Nothing will be kept out there overnight. There might be a table in there, and we might bring like a water jug out, or I have a place where we can run a extension cord out to charge model boats from time to time. But there won't be walls, it won't be electrified, there will be no running water.
Well, I've seen structures like that, from housing old antique tractors, old wooden boats or something like that, again, to keep from deteriorating.
Sure.
I didn't know if you were gonna be having an old boat in there or something.
No, there's thoughts that in the future, it might be permanently set somewhere, maybe at that spot, but as a place to put our lawnmowers and leaf blowers and stuff. But that's not what we're doing now, and we don't know that that's where it would be, which is why we're not doing it as a permanent structure. And
So something like that would be, you're looking at as a tool shed then?
down the road someday, yes, but not this year.
I have a question pertaining to the construction of it. Is it going to, are you going to, or is it going to be constructed in a traditional manner, utilizing wooden pins and mortise and tenon joinery?
It is, and it's actually going to be constructed by the outfit that built it, which is Rockport Post and Beam.
Not familiar.
And they're gonna come out with, they'll have a crane that will actually, since the walls are already put together because they were used in a Maine Boats, Homes and Harbors show down in Rockland. It was built for that, and then it was given to us. So the walls are put together. They just have to be stood up and then connected with the cross pieces and the roof joists.
But thanks.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somewhere that you might put canvas on it.
That was thought about, and we ultimately decided that we weren't gonna do that.
Oh, good, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Now open the public hearing? That would be you.
I guess one clarification that I need to step up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's being televised and also goes for the record, so.
And state your name so we'll know who we're talking at.
My name is Doug Latham, and I received notice that this is going to be built in a residential structure, a residential zone. Is that correct, or am I missing something here?
I was told it's commercial.
My map shows it being commercial.
Well, my letter says residential.
What?
My letter from this town says residential. So that's the first point of clarification that I need to try to clear up.
That should be right on here.
Just,
Right here.
Oh, I got one more.
Residential one?
Oh, it is? Well, that's my fault, because I was told it was commercial.
No, the map we have it. Where?
It was changed last year.
Yeah, but who's got the map?
It's downstairs on the wall.
Downstairs. And we don't have it individually.
And it's online.
Doesn't do me any good, I don't know.
Residential one, which is also allowed, museums are allowed in residential.
Is that changed on the land use ordinance as well? We have a reference in there for residential one. We can get that printed out downtown. Look at that part cleared up.
Yeah. See, these meetings are good for something.
Well, yeah, so my understanding then is that it's in a residential zone, but there are exceptions for the Marine Museum in that zone? Is that a fair understanding of what I'm hearing?
No, if it goes under the same thing as it had on the commercial, it requires planning board approval, which is done the site plan review,
I see.
which we're doing.
You see?
Right.
Yep.
So then am I to understand then if another individual within this residential zone 1 were to want to have an exception, they would then go before the planning board for that?
You're the chairman, Keith, right now, but it's not an exception.
No, it's not an exception. It's
The
limited.
museum,
It's a commercial structure in a residential zone.
a museum is, I don't have the thing for, let's see, I want, that'd be page 31. huh?
Page 31.
Yep. I quoted you on the commercial one. So 31, in residential 1 district, institutional, planning board review is required. For, in the cemeteries, churches, daycare centers, nursing homes, medical centers, museum, public and private school, post-secondary. And then we have commercial, police department review, yard sales. Commercial, bed and breakfast required, craft shop, florist shop, professional offices, and restaurant.
This is
They
part
all
of the...
require planning board review,
Yep.
and that's what this is tonight.
I see.
Site plan review. And the performance criteria.
Okay. All right, well, I just wanted to try to clear that up, because as I say, I got a letter indicating it was a residential, and apparently it is, but there are some exceptions that you just mentioned that
They're not exceptions.
Part of the ordinance.
are part of the ordinance. All right, but a better way of putting it, I guess.
It's an allowed use
Yeah.
It's allowed use.
if it meets, if it meets planning board approval,
Okay.
which has about 20 performance standards. And also has to be in conformance with the land use ordinance, those standards.
And in this area of residential, you make no mention of, like opening up an antique shop. The only reason I'm asking, because I own a piece of property on Route 1, and I was told that the use of that piece of property is quite limited, yet the people right next door to me are now opening up a antique shop. So I'm just trying to,
Again, it's under planning board review criteria, again, page 31 of the land use ordinance.
okay,
And it's under this, section B, kept the B under commercial. Planning board review is required, let's say, for bed and breakfast, craft shop, gallery, antique shop,
antique shop.
a florist shop, a greenhouse, a professional offices, and restaurants.
And what was the last one?
Restaurants.
Restaurants. Okay. And everything else, or any other kind of business within that, what happens to that? Let's say somebody wants to do a welding shop, or carpentry craft, or build custom cabinets, or anything along those lines. How how would an individual then get approval if any were, any possible?
You'd probably be doing it under a home occupation if you were living there,
Occupation.
occurred within the confines of your residence or auxiliary building,
I
a
see,
limited number of employees.
okay.
Home occupation.
Home occupation then. Well, very good. I'm
And
just
you're
trying
still
to-
gonna look at, even on home occupation, you're gonna look at some of the same things. You mentioned welding, for example.
Right,
Let's say the hours of operation, the amount of noise generated,
I see,
any kind of safety things.
right.
Storage of hazardous materials or something.
Good point.
Again, going with the performance standards.
I see. And those are the things you take in consideration when approving those types of ventures,
Or
Yeah.
disapproving it.
or disapproving it? Right. Fair enough. Thank you for that
They
clarification.
have to meet the standards,
Okay,
all of it.
And if they meet all the standards, we cannot easily disapprove it.
I see. And is there a list of those standards at the,
Yes, the site plan review ordinance.
okay,
Downstairs.
downstairs? So we could get one of those for our personal knowledge.
I think to keep it simple, you start with the code enforcement officer, tell him
Right.
what you want to do, and then
Right.
he'll guide you as to whether or not it needs to come before the planning board, or what
Okay,
Right.
use would be considered acceptable.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause we just changed that last year. He does a lot more of it now than us.
Right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, we lost the town audience.
Doug, those are the only things you have to say. This is your chance in the public hearing for comment.
Well, no, I have no problem with the Penobscot Museum. I have a great deal of respect for them and what they try to do. And so from that point, I really don't have any, any disagreement with that. I just thought, well, as I say, I got notice that it was in a residential, and so I was just trying to clear that up as to, all the ins and outs and the dynamics of that sort of thing.
A general dollar store, not allowed.
What?
A general dollar store or a Hannaford's or something like that.
Fair enough, fair enough, okay. I'll keep that under advisement.
That'd be commercial, big commercial.
Thank you, Doug. Anything else? Nobody else in the public's here, so we'll close the public hearing. Then we'll go to the land use ordinance on page 36. This is where the fun starts. I haven't been looking at it. We got general performance standards in there, 5 of them. I rated them, let me see. Do we need to look at any of these other than maybe lighting?
I don't see where any of them are gonna be applicable for this
Even if no,
structure or use.
right, any light, you're not gonna put any lights on it probably anyway. Okay.
No, we're not open after dark.
Yeah,
Are you gonna have any concerts under there for the noise level?
We won't have any concerts there.
DJs or, any kind of sound?
But we don't plan on it.
if they have the noise, they'd probably get the vibration from the band.
I guess there might be a chance if we had boat races there that we might bring a microphone out to announce them or something, but I don't think, I don't think
No
we'd be-
hazardous materials.
No.
We have a motion on that, they are not applicable at this time.
Second?
You make a motion? You just seconded it.
Oh.
Did you make a
I thought
motion?
No, I just asked for a motion.
You can do it.
I made the motion that the general performance standards aren't applicable in this instance.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Pacific standard performances. The only one I'm sure of, I think, is adult entertainment. I don't think it's gonna be under there.
It's gonna be boat races, I guess that's the.
Oh, well, that's different, that's true. I've been to a few of them. Are any of those applicable? Except for section 5.
Not gonna be any signage there, is there? I thought it was still just museum.
No,
There's no windmills?
no.
5B8 may have a problem, transit accommodation. Not that they approve them, I mean, but they,
It would appear that items 1 through 10 specifically are not applicable, but item 11 is.
right. Can I have a motion on that?
I'd like to make a motion that items 1 through 10 are not applicable in this instance. But number 11, activities requiring site plan review are.
Second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion? 4-0. Land use ordinance. This is when we get to have the required ones. Permitted use in the district. We'll do these 4 one to a time to be on.
It's an R1 district.
Right.
Specified that the museum, this is part of the museum.
Right.
Yeah, it's an allowed use with planning board review.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion, how about a vote on that one? All in favor? The use is in conformance with the applicable performance standards of the section 5 of this ordinance.
Conformance with the ones that are applicable.
Right.
I'll motion it's in compliance, section 5 of the applicable applicable sections.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Section 6 has received or a condition of approval will receive all permits or approvals required under other applicable town or state ordinance related to the use of the property. He doesn't need any extra permits other than ours, right?
Yeah, the building permit.
I'll move they have all appropriate permits. Although probably it's not applicable.
Oh, yes, it is.
There are none.
Yeah, yes, it is.
No, is it? Okay.
Yep.
I'll stand by my motion.
Second.
Thank you. I know what you're thinking, but that's all right. All those in favor? 4-0. And the last one, will provide safe access and egress for public or private. Just a walk-in, there's no vehicles involved,
Correct.
other than people park on Knox Avenue and get run over. Is that applicable? No vehicles involved.
That's right. When are you going from land use standards?
Pardon?
Are you on the land use one, land use ordinance?
Yes. I'll have to find it. Do you think it's applicable,
Which, what?
that section 6, section 6G4?
I'm trying to find out where you are.
Oh,
What page?
I know, I didn't even look at it, I just got a thing
You
here.
got the cheat sheet.
Yeah, I have, a good thing I have, I thought it was, anyway. Oh, there's that one, okay, let me get, that's section 6 right there.
Well, that's section 8. You want to do that far up. Administration, this ordinance, creation, been by code enforcement, planning.
I'm on that same section.
You look at
Page
41.
42, Keith.
What page?
How about 41?
22?
42.
42.
Is that Big Brother?
Yeah.
I spoke to us.
Down at the bottom. Down the last line. It says from private roads. If they're walking, then they're not basically using a public or private road. You find it?
I don't know, what are you talking about?
Section 4,
4 or 6?
well, 6, but it's 4 in here, will provide safe access and egress from existing or proposed public or private roads. Page 42, the last line.
I would say that's applicable.
That's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'll move it's applicable. And acceptable.
Sure, okay.
All those in favor? 4-0. We took those individually, so can we have a motion that they all meet the provisions set forth in the land use ordinance regulations?
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Again, 4-0. I'm glad Peter showed up tonight, we wouldn't be able to do this. Yeah. Now we go to site plan review on page 7, standards of approval. Number 1 is preserve and enhance the landscape.
I'll move that's been met.
Right now, it's a vacant lot, right? Or was.
Was, yeah. Second that, somebody?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor? 4-0. Relationship of proposed buildings to the environment. Buildings or structures shall be the greatest extent practical for given the type allowed use and the applicable dimensions allowances. Number 2.
I'll move that's met. It's not obtrusive, it's not a full building anyway.
Can we have a discussion on that?
Yes, we can have a discussion on this.
We looked at kind of a post and beam, almost like a shed, like a wood shed type thing. And look at other things. I thought one time a boat was out there, but there's another structure there that is different, like a camera, a great big box.
Correct.
And that's been moved around
It has.
from out front, now it's up
On
further
Church
up the
Street.
across from the church. And you got spas and mass and other things going on there. And you have some stuff in the summertime that's out
Correct.
and moved, so I look at, probably in keeping with some of the other things that are around there. And, I'm in a residential structure, I have a wood shed that looks just like that,
Okay.
on lily pads on it. And I think there's a couple more downtown.
I got one at the camp too.
Yeah, some downtown, so I say, I guess it, can go in there in a residential area, and part of the museum.
He's
Nice
already,
if you keep an old friendship sloop under the cover or something.
I don't know if it'd be that big, but
and he's already committed to the fact that if they're gonna move it, they're coming back.
Yeah. So, I go along, because it fits in with the museum and the other things you have there.
thank you.
We got a motion made and seconded.
Yeah.
All those in favor? 4-0. Vehicle access. We've already passed part of this. Shall provide safe access and egress from the lot, existing, from private and public roads.
You can get there two ways, don't you?
Well, there won't be any cars on there, and the road itself that passes it, I don't know that we have any control over that. Anyway,
I'll move that's been met, and we don't have roads going to the structure itself.
Right.
no.
Parking lots across the street.
Discussion, is it seconded?
Sure, second.
All, discussion, all in favor? Number 4, parking and circulation.
Got existing parking I moved that some net.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Existing
surface water drainage.
I'll move that's been met. Any water's just gonna go right by it as if it wasn't there.
Gonna go in the pond.
Yep.
What happens if the pond overflows? Do we have a
Well,
flood
it's
hazard
not gonna
there?
overflow, but, I think it would just go into the ground. I don't think it's enough that it would do anything.
Get the water like you got down in Pennsylvania, Mike.
And what supports the walls on that?
Hay bales that have been staked into the ground, and then it has it's like a tarp, but it's actually a landfill liner, so it's a really heavy-duty,
Yep.
plastic liner. And that does it, and we did a lot of research on these type of ponds that, apparently they do it quite a bit, especially over in Europe, to make these, model boat, gatherings. It's a bigger hobby over there.
And
Go on
does this get
YouTube and watch.
Taken down at the end of the season?
Correct.
That's what I was gonna ask.
And so the hay bales are the lateral support of the buttress.
The hay bales form the walls, and there are wooden stakes that went through the hay bales into the ground.
And
So
what's
they-
the size of the pond?
30 by 40 feet.
You lost 5 feet, it was
And-
45 feet when I
And
asked.
depth,
12 inches.
12 inches.
yep. So I'm gonna say, open it, virtually no possibility that the side of a thing could fold down for some reason and bail out.
No, I don't think so.
And
And
go down Knox Brothers Avenue.
no. The tarp is also further supported by rope that goes around the structure that supports the liner as it goes over the walls of the hay.
Keep them sliding to the middle.
It literally encompasses the whole thing and is pulled really taut.
Yeah. Like the rope around the seine.
Correct. There's some physics involved that I don't think I can totally explain, but it has been tried and proven.
Tom will understand it.
It's 9,000 gallons of water, but it's not, well, a foot deep there's no real structural issues. Be exciting. if they did.
Be exciting on this,
Just for a moment.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long.
the old coffee shop down there, whatever.
You get extra water for his coffee.
Yeah, when it hits his tea shop.
Yeah.
Not a concern, I was just kind of wondering.
Somebody
to
make a
come try.
motion?
A motion surface water drainage is not an issue.
Second?
Discussion?
We beat it to death.
Yeah, that's why I can't run over. All those in favor? I don't know, you're doing all this, so. Existing utilities. Non-applicable?
Not applicable.
Not applicable, yeah.
The town staff already signed off on all those.
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Yep.
Somebody second that?
Sure.
Second?
All in favor? 4-0. Advertising features. Size and location of the big signs.
No.
If there's,
Applicable.
all right, if there's no signs, it's not applicable. I'll second that.
All those in favor? Special features of development, exposed and storage areas, exposed machinery, so forth.
I would say that's not applicable, there's no machinery that's gonna be stored.
I'll second.
Audio-visual buffering.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Exterior lighting.
Not applicable, there's not gonna be any.
A second.
All those in favor? 4-0. Emergency vehicle access.
I'll move that's been met.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor? We're getting there. Whoop, I turned the wrong page. Municipal services.
I move that's been met. Town staff is all signed off.
Right.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Water pollution.
I'll move that's not applicable.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
They're gonna breed mosquitoes.
No, we're treating the water with like a pool thing, so we don't have that. And we'll have a filter on it.
On-site water supply.
I'll move that's not applicable for the building.
How you getting your water? Waiting for the rain?
The fire department filled it up for us.
Oh, nice to have a pole. Somebody second that?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Soil erosion.
I'll move that's been met.
Applicable in this case.
I got one on each side of me.
Yeah. Either one's okay. I'll second.
Thanks.
There shouldn't be enough water coming off that little roof to bother too much, I wouldn't think. Any discussion? All those in favor? Septic disposal.
Not applicable.
Second.
All those in favor? 4-0. Oh, we're getting there. The last page. Adverse effects.
I'll move there
Unreasonable
are none.
adverse effects.
I'll move there are none.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Financial capacity. We always get on this one. Actually, there's no cost to them, the way I see it. They got to volunteer to put the building up, and the building didn't cost them anything. The land's already there.
I'll move it's been met.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. Air quality.
I'll move it's not applicable.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4-0. They need a motion that have either been met or they're not applicable.
I move that all the performance standards on the site plan review ordinance have been, that are applicable, have been met.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? I need a motion on the application. Approved or disapproved or what?
Approved. I make a motion that we approve the application.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
And if it gets moved, they'll be coming back in.
All right.
for a different look at it.
All those in favor? 4-0. We'll get some signing and you can have it, unless you want to wait and get it tomorrow. There's only 5 here tonight, it won't take long. Where'd they go? And we will leave the check with Bruce.
No, you're the chairman.
Just, we'll get it, and we'll take it.
Give it to Keith, and Keith will forward it to the appropriate authority.
Oh, something.
Are you bonded, Keith?
Yes, no. Yes, we are, actually.
He's on TV, we know.
And what was the amount of the fee? I don't even, I want to see if it's right.
$220?
Today is 11th, right?
Yes, it is.
I hope so. I may not check today, I may have 11th on it. I don't have a permit page, the number. Oh. Okay. Today is 06/11. I'll make it the right way. 18, approved. No conditions. No conditions. No reason for denying it. You want me to sign this? I'll let you sign it if you want here. That's our copy. What did I do with the other one? Just right there, okay.
That's mine. He should have had two. That's my copy.
Oh, I got one here too, right there.
Yeah, why don't you use that?
No, what? Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. You can't read it, it's probably my signature.
You know, the town has been very helpful putting that whole thing together. The earth moving and layout of that has been very helpful.
We try to work with people, not against them.
Keep the museum as a benefit for the town.
I still gotta get up there. I got something for them, and I can't get up there to give it to them. They may not even want it, but some glass negatives,
You do?
2 boxes of them, about that big,
Really? What are they of?
mostly flowers.
Mostly flowers?
Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah. I'll swap with you. I wanna get something for your money. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good luck, have fun.
You know, is there a building permit they can build or what,
You can do it right now.
whatever?
Come try it out this summer.
Okay. Thank you, gang. I
See
think
ya.
Father's Day, they got a sailboat race. If you got a model that you had bird,
I got a half model, does that help?
Get together with somebody
floating free,
that has the other
12
half.
inches of water and hope the wind blows.
Thank you.
Okay, let's continue with the agenda. The only thing left is code enforcement officer's report. There's no public here. Randy wanted me to tell you he wasn't able to come tonight. He wanted to say that next meeting, we should have an application for an RV park at the end of Turnpike Road. And I
Wait, then-
believe he has a pre-application form down there now, so if you're in the area, stop and see Randy. Might give you an idea of
At the end of Turnpike Road,
the end of Turnpike.
which end?
Road. The end opposite Route 1.
Oh, yeah,
They're waiting for the new water lines, eh?
Yeah, way up.
interesting.
I'm sorry.
I said interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That'll give Sisport shows some competition.
I guess. And he's been very busy issuing building permits and so forth. Okay, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.